Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Our mission today is pretty laser-focused. We're taking a massive setback, that All Blacks defeat, 43-10 to the Springboks in Wellington. Huge loss.
Biggest ever defeat inflicted by South Africa. Yeah.
Right. But instead of just joining the fan carry-on, we're extracting only the constructive solutions, looking for the playbook for improvement.
It's very easy, isn't it? And you hear it a lot, people demanding wholesale changes after a shocker like that.
Oh, definitely.
But this analysis from Dagg, I mean, he's an All Blacks great, played under Scott Robertson at the Crusaders. It offers something much more valuable, I think.
Which is?
Where can this current group genuinely, shift the dial? Where can they actually improve execution, not just swap people out?
Exactly. So we're using Dagg's breakdown as our way past all the noise.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want more of this kind of in-depth analysis, the tactical stuff that really matters in the game we love, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession wherever you get your deep dives.
So yeah, our source today is Dagg's analysis from the Scotty and Izzy show. We're distilling his 4 key areas the All Blacks really need to address. Like, right now.
Okay, but before we jump into those 4 fixes, we kind of have to set the scene, acknowledge the context.
Yeah, you can't ignore it.
The reaction to this loss, I mean, an embarrassing home reversal, it's been severe. A big backlash, calls for coaches, players, the usual.
And look, the intensity, you can understand it, but Dagg, he provided some, needed perspective, didn't he?
He did. He called the reaction crazy, but not surprising.
Yeah, which immediately sets a different tone. It's like, okay, let's move past the emotion. Let's focus on the mechanics. How do we get better?
His whole point was looking at where the group could shift the dial, right? Not just joining the who should be dropped chat.
Exactly. It's about improvement, not replacement.
I really appreciate that focus. Execution over personality. It makes the discussion about finding solutions, not just assigning blame, suggests the problems are actually fixable within the current setup.
That's the core of it, I think. Dagg's focusing on fundamental skills. Skills that define success in rugby today, which sets us up nicely for his first solution.
Right. Let's get into those solutions. Number 1, it's a mandate, really, about controlling territory, controlling momentum, especially against those high-pressure defensive teams like the Springboks.
Yeah, this is big.
Dagg's calling for absolute mastery of the aerial game.
He's really laying down the law here. His words were emphatic. High ball, there is no doubt that high ball is the most important part of the game right now. Win the air, you win the game. Pretty clear.
Okay, but why the most important? I mean, high balls have always been important in rugby, haven't they? Why elevate it right now to number 1?
Well, if you think about how defense has evolved, it makes sense. Defenses now, they're so fast, so organized. That rush defense puts massive pressure on the scrum half, the fly half.
Forces errors, forces kicks.
Exactly. It forces the attacking team to kick more often, sometimes deep, sometimes just to relieve pressure. So the high ball isn't just about territory gain anymore.
It's about creating a definite contest, a platform.
Spot on. If you're struggling to keep the ball, winning your own high kicks back, or even just disrupting the opposition's catch, that immediately takes the pressure off. It stops that suffocating feeling from a set defense.
And Dagg did note the team has struggled as of late with this.
He did. And he also warned against sort of comparing this team directly to past All Black sides. They had other assets and tools at our disposal, as he put it.
Right. Different strengths. Maybe a dominant scrum back then, or line out, or pinpoint tactical kicking wasn't needed quite as much because other areas compensated.
Precisely. So if those other safety nets aren't firing consistently right now, they have to nail the aerial contest. It's foundational stability. It cancels out the opponent's pressure game almost instantly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. A powerful, fundamental fix.
Yeah.
Win the immediate battle before you try the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads us nicely into the second solution. This one is right at the core identity of New Zealand rugby, getting that counterattack DNA back.
Ah, yes. The unstructured chaos, as Dagg calls it. That's classic All Blacks, isn't it? Historically, turning a mistake, a dropped ball, into a try in seconds. That was just part of their DNA, their ethos.
But it feels like it's maybe faded a bit.
That's the concern Dagg raises. It seems to have atrophied.
Maybe when confidence is down, teams tend to stick to structure, feel safer.
Could be. But Dagg's argument is they're losing a key part of their identity by not actively hunting those quick strike opportunities.
So what does that unstructured chaos actually look like on the field, tactically speaking?
It means seizing those moments. Quick plays, counterattacks. The times when the defense is scrambling back, hasn't set its line, The defenders are not ready and has not been able to get into position.
So the window is tiny, really tiny.
Oh, absolutely minuscule. We're talking the first 2 or 3 seconds right after a turnover at the ruck, maybe a drop ball or a poor kick chase from the opposition.
That's the moment.
That's the moment. That's when the defense is most vulnerable to just sheer speed and surprise. Dagg stresses this is when the outside backs need to just go. Stop waiting for a set move. Run those hard inside running lines.
So it's a mental switch, too, from defense straight into hyper-attack mode.
Exactly. Intuitive. Faster than the defense can possibly think and reorganize.
Makes perfect sense, especially against modern rush defenses that commit so hard going forward. If you break that initial line inside, there's often nobody home behind them.
Spot on. Huge opportunities if you're brave enough to take them.
Okay, now before we get into Dagg's last two solutions, which get really specific, just a quick reminder. If you appreciate this kind of deep dive analysis, getting into the tactics of rugby, please make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. We promise more breakdowns like this. Right, we'll be back in a moment with the rest of Dagg's actionable insights for Scott Robertson and the team.
Okay, let's get into solution 3. This builds directly on that idea of aggressive attack, speed. But it's about the lines people run, instinctual running lines. This is where Dagg gets really granular, looking at the actual patterns of movement.
Yeah, this part really caught my eye. It sounds like a breakdown in communication or maybe just execution in the back line. Dagg specifically mentioned missing classic attacking shapes.
Like what?
Things like a 12 going up, a 13 short, a 14 out the back. Basic stuff, but maybe not happening instinctively. He also talked about mentality, calling for more courageous inside shoulder running lines.
And brave, continuous running lines on a 45-degree angle.
Right, those specific angles. What's interesting, though, is Dagg frames this less as a physical issue and more as, well, a mental one.
Yeah, his critique boils down to the idea that the team is, and this is his phrase, so structured in this country that they actually lose sight of our instinctual play.
The structure trap. That's a powerful concept. Too much focus on the plan, the pre-called move, stifles the player's natural ability to react to what's in front of them, especially the backs.
Exactly. It makes them almost look down, wait for the call, instead of playing eyes-up footy. Let's think about those specific lines he mentioned. That 45-degree angle run. Why is that effective?
Well, it forces the closest defender into a really tough split-second choice, doesn't it? Commit fully to the runner or drift off to cover the potential pass. Creates doubt, creates seams.
Right, and those courageous inside shoulder lines, they're high risk, definitely, but massive reward if they come off. Requires total commitment and trust that the passer will hold the defender just long enough.
And Dagg linked this back to analysis from Mills Muliana too, didn't he? Saying how that narrow focus in the heat of the battle makes players lose sight of the opportunities right there.
Suggests maybe a bit of performance anxiety, overthinking instead of relying on trained instinct, on muscle memory.
Could be. It's like the structure's the foundation, sure, but the execution on top, the roof, as you might say, needs that instinctual reaction to immediate pressure. If you're always looking for the pre-planned move, you miss the gap the defense just accidentally gave you.
Absolutely. It's about seeing the picture change in real time.
Okay, that flows perfectly into the final proposal. Solution number 4, developing a much more effective kick strategy. And this isn't just kicking for territory, is it? It's about using the kick as an actual attacking weapon.
Correct. Dagg was really clear here. It's about giving the players a specific solution, not an idea. He wasn't saying, we're going to kick the ball every time,
Wow.
but understanding there's a precise time and a place for certain types of offensive kicks, like a little chip kick over the rush defense or maybe kicking wider crossfield to exploit space if the backfield players are caught narrow.
So treating the kick like another phase of attack, like calling a specific pass play but using the boot instead. How do you coach that timing, though? That seems tricky.
You coach the trigger. You give the playmakers, the 10s mainly, concrete cues. If the defense shows you this picture, then that specific kick is the right option.
Okay. Like a pre-agreed signal based on the defensive setup.
Exactly. And Dagg gave a perfect example, didn't he? A positive one. Amoni Narawa's try against the Bucks at Eden Park earlier in the season.
Right. He called that a perfect example of when a kick strat comes off.
Yeah. Let's break that one down. What did it actually show?
Well, it showed quick recognition of space, didn't it? Out wide and deep, they had some quick phase play, pull the defense in.
And instead of just running another phase into traffic, bang, the kick goes up, over the top, forces a contest where the box defense was stretched, maybe a bit disconnected.
And Nawa finished it brilliantly.
He did. But the key point Dagg was making for the coaches is give the players that specific trigger. If defense does X, you execute kick Y. Don't just vaguely suggest kicking is sometimes a good idea. It needs to be properly integrated into the attacking framework, a real tool.
Okay, wow. That is a fantastic list. 4 really actionable insights. And the theme running through all of them seems to be refinement, execution, maybe empowerment, rather than a complete overhaul.
Absolutely. If we just summarize Dagg's focus areas for Scott Robertson. Number 1, high ball dominance. Win the air, control the game, especially under that intense rush defense pressure.
Got it.
Number 2, aggressive counterattack. Get back that unstructured chaos in those vital first 2 or 3 seconds after a turnover. Number 3, varied and instinctual running lines. Break free from that structure trap and play what's in front.
Makes sense.
And number 4, a smart, specific kick strategy. Use the boot as a genuine offensive weapon based on clear triggers.
These feel like high-leverage areas, don't they? Places where improvement could make a big difference quickly. It suggests the talent is there. It's more about sharpening the execution and maybe freeing the players up mentally.
I think so.
Which leads to a question for you, listening right now. Based on what we've discussed, which of these 4 solutions do you think is the most urgent fix for the All Blacks? Like right now, short term. Is it nailing that aerial contest first? Or do they need to reconnect with that counterattacking freedom, that risk-taking before anything else?
Yeah, what's the priority? Be interesting to hear people's thoughts. Let us know.
We always appreciate hearing your tactical takes because, like you said earlier, these fixes aren't magic wands. They're about tactical process and execution.
Exactly right.
Okay, and one last time, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you never miss another deep dive into the strategic side of rugby.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we will look forward to you listening to our next episode.